Hello and welcome back to the checkpoint. Today we are going to be showing you the best, the most efficient and the most effective way to play tank in Overwatch. The gameplay you're seeing today is some d.va gameplay on Ilios. I believe it was Control. I got it earlier today. Well, earlier today when I was recording this video, because I think this is going out a little bit later. And oh my god, it was so fun. I really love playing as d.va. I think I'm kind of maining her right now. I've been playing her more than anyone else, and I think when the game comes out in its full entirety, I'm going to be still playing as her because she's just so fun. She's just so fun to play as. She's definitely in the upper echelon of tank characters, in my opinion. I can't play as Zarya, I can't play as Winston. Well, I'm okay with Winston, he's just a bit ineffective right now. But d.va is definitely, in my opinion, the best tank. I know people will vouch for Reinhardt, but I just can't get into him. d.va is the one for me. But aside from that, I hope you enjoy the gameplay. Let's get into some tips on how to play tank effectively. So while the tank characters look like the strongest and toughest and biggest and baddest dudes in the game, they're actually rather weak in terms of firepower. I mean, weapons like Winston's Tesla cannon or Reinhardt's hammer, extremely close range weapons that require you to get up close and personal with your enemies. Now obviously for characters as big in terms of model size as, you know, Reinhardt, Zarya, d.va, all the other tank characters, this is quite bad because you have a lot more surface area to shoot. Now, as I said, this is some d.va gameplay, so what you'll notice is that I'm actually using my abilities rather well. I'm using my boost to get away when I find myself in a tough situation, and my first tip would be to recognise those situations straight away. You don't want to be a tank when you're fighting 4 guys up close. You want to be able to fly away as soon as you can, and most tanks have, I believe, a sort of movement mechanic like rocket boost or for d.va, and Reinhardt has a sort of dash type thing that he can use with his hammer. Those type of abilities are really good for getting away in those situations. They're not all offensive. I remember Winston has like a huge super jump, so make sure you use those effectively when you find yourself in those types of situations I was talking about. And also on the other end of the spectrum, you got shields for both d.va and for Reinhardt. And make sure you use those as well, especially when you find yourself maybe one-on-one and you have another character backing you up. It's really good to use your shield to kind of protect not only you but and your teammates. So at some points I'll see if I have some Reinhardt gameplay that I can put here, but at the very start of the game I like to throw up my shield so that the bad guys who have already set up in game modes like Assault or Control, they can't get to not only me but my teammates. You've got to think about the other smaller characters when playing the tank. So recognising the situations that you should use a certain ability in is very, very important when playing as the tank. Make sure you have the ability to swap between them. In my opinion, that's a lot more important than getting a bunch of hits on a character, just because you have a lot more freedom of movement both in defense and offense when using those abilities. Now, my next tip would be to be unafraid of stepping up for your team. Overwatch promotes teamwork, and there have to be sacrifices on the field to make that sweet, sweet victory happen. So get your heavy, hit-taking ass in front of your teammates and bullet sponge it up. The tank is more of a support class than an offensive one, in my opinion, so stick it out in front, soak up as much gunfire as possible without compromising yourself, and try to use your movement abilities to quickly get away from the battle for a quick heal. Or, if you're lucky enough, have a medic trailing behind you so you can keep your HP up. The most important thing is to be in front of the other characters. That's where the tank is for. Think of the tank as a giant battering ram. That is exactly how you're supposed to be playing the game. You're supposed to be out front, ramming through the enemies, you know, trying to make those pushes happen, and soaking up all the damage from the bigger enemies, while your smaller teammates are behind you. My third and final tip would be knowing that not all tanks play the same. Playing Reinhardt is not the same as playing Zarya, and playing Winston is not the same as playing Roadhog. Take the map, game mode, and state of your current team into account before choosing your character. Overwatch, in my experience, is all about the balance between the characters, so make sure you're playing your role efficiently. So with this map, Ilios, I chose d.va because there's a lot of open air if you look up, you'll see there's only a couple of things like pillars and rock formations stopping you from flying away. I chose d.va because I could quickly rocket boost away without, running into buildings or anything like that. That's me using my knowledge of the map in combination with my character. So make sure you recognize both and the players already on your team, because you don't always want 2 tanks on one team. That's not always the best option. So make sure that you can, adapt to each given situation and recognize the map, the characters, and the game mode you're playing in order to be an effective tank in the game. So those are a few tips on how to play a tank efficiently in Overwatch. We've got a bunch of Overwatch videos coming out over the next few weeks, so make sure you're subscribed to never miss out on Overwatch gameplay, tips, and discussion. Thanks for watching. This has been Steve. That has been Overwatch Checkpoint complete.